Hi, welcome to Cisco Security's virtual corner of this year's RSA conference. You know, some years I love coming to RSA and seeing old friends. It's the only time I see some people all year. Other years I find the crowds, the booths with guys in gorilla suits just exhausting. Certainly hope that you, your family, your friends are all in good health, and hopefully we'll see you in person next year. I promise when we do, absolutely no fake sumo wrestlers, fake gorilla suits, fake cowboys in our booth. Some years it seems like all the vendors at RSA are saying pretty much the same thing, but as you saw last year when we introduced something different, Cisco SecureX, which unites the entire Cisco platform, there is real innovation that Cisco is bringing to market. And now we are taking that platform approach further, faster, and deeper. I have two demos to show you of capability that we are shipping this spring in our Threat Defense 7 and related releases. But the bigger story here that you're going to see for yourself is that it's no longer just about individual products and individual releases. It is imperative because of the complexity of the dynamic application environments that many of you are working in, and the hybrid and multi-cloud contexts that you're working in that has made security so complex that there has to be a new way forward. Across Cisco Security, reducing that complexity is our #1 objective, and we do that by taking an open platform approach. And you're going to see with what we show you today how we're taking visibility, correlation, and coordination to the next level. Also this year at the RSA Virtual, we're launching the newest part of the Cisco Secure Firewall lineup, Secure Firewall CloudNative. It's a highly elastic, scalable, and self-healing control point for your Kubernetes environments. And in this session, you're going to learn more as well, not only about that, but the snort 3 IPS engine in Cisco Secure Firewall, how you maintain security policies and remain compliant with TLS 1.3 flows. That's a big challenge. And also you're going to learn about our new managed remote access capability. Before we show demos, let's quickly talk about challenges that folks like you are experiencing. We co-sponsored a study a while back, and nothing terribly surprising regarding drivers that are leading people to move into modern application environments. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Almost half of the respondents said that they had an attack not in their QA environment or a staging environment, but actually in production. 73% of those respondents say that they don't have the insight that they need into threats and ongoing attacks. We really see that as a visibility issue, and everything we're going to talk about today really at its core is about visibility and getting visibility back. A lot of folks believe, even though they love the business advantages of cloud-native architectures, that it's increasing their risk, and they see security as the #1 barrier for wider adoption of cloud-native capabilities. Wouldn't it be great if we just had the confidence that we could lock down those application environments even when they're changing on a daily or sometimes hourly basis? Modern application environments are just so complex. Lots of enforcement points, lots of policies, the potential, frankly, for a lot of mistakes. And it's getting to a point where we have to automate, we have to do new things because what we have been doing isn't going to work anymore. Most network security, SecOps, and DevOps teams, they don't have the controls that they need to adequately secure their workload environments. Finally, security changes don't happen at sufficient speed, and without a clear understanding of the environment that we're working in, we're going to be slow to react. Enabling access to containers, that might take a long time in a traditional environment, whereas the expectation today, with applications that are deployed constantly, is for just rapid CI/CD pipelines, continuous integration, continuous delivery capabilities. All this means that there's a chasm between network security and application development that we have to resolve. What does this mean for firewall operators? Inevitably, all that complexity is leading to open access and the potential for major policy errors. Many security pros are concerned that they're going to be held responsible for the subversion of their application environments and getting owned, even when they do not have the tooling or the resources to identify what's happening in those environments. The good news is that help is on the way. We're empowering NetOps teams to start running at DevOps speed. That's what Cisco Network is all about. It's the redefinition of network security, integrating firewall and application workload protection. Cisco Secure Firewall's new automated dynamic policies accelerate CI/CD pipelines and business and mission success in today's application environments. Now, I promised you some demos, and the first I want to show you really illustrates how the NetOps team can start running at DevOps speed with Cisco Network. First, I want to give you a quick setup for the demo so you have some context. Here is an application environment, pretty generic, and what we have is a dynamic policy that's being pushed from Cisco Secure Workload, formerly called Tetration, to the Firewall Management Center. That will then push that down to the firewall itself. So in your dynamic application environment, you have a unified policy that's being dynamically enforced and synced at both the workload level and at the network level. The result is that you get protection east-west and north-south throughout the environment. You have integrated control points without having to manage policies and configurations individually on each device where you're looking to enforce rules. This is empowering NetOps to start moving actually at DevOps speed. It's really true about how quickly applications can change, sometimes even an hourly basis. Secure Workload dynamically reevaluates the state of the entire application environment every 60 seconds, making sure that policies are kept in sync and automation removes that burden so that the NetOps team can focus on higher order problems, like considering what zero trust policies should look like in their environment. So here's a quick demo prepared by my great colleague, Tim Garner. You're looking now at the Secure Workload interface, and I'm showing you a policy that's been discovered by Secure Workload, visualized in our new Policy Explorer. We can see how different components of the portal application are reliant on a shared database. The policy, in terms of who should be speaking to whom, has automatically been generated. And we've also been able to test and simulate the effects of that policy to make sure it won't break anything when we enforce it. This testing is critical because your application team tests what they do and they expect the same in return. Security, after all, is a team sport. What we're going to do now is look at the demo environment and see that because the policy has not been enforced yet, non-compliant traffic can be generated. Connections between workloads that shouldn't be allowed are able to happen here. This is typically the state of environments that don't have any east-west segmentation enabled. We can access from a production server to a non-production server, and further, we can access a production workload from a developer's machine. Both the east-west and the north-south flows in this case shouldn't be happening according to our security policy. So what we're going to do to fix this is enforce the policy. We want to make sure that the policy is enforced both on the workload level and the firewalls in the environment. Using the new policy impact tool, I'll be able to see which machines will be affected by this change in my segmentation rules, and I get full visibility into every single action I'll be taking. And I'll have confidence to know that I'm not going to break any applications as I implement these security policies. Showing what Secure Workload is going to do takes away a huge amount of uncertainty and stress as you make changes. Now, what we can see is the policies that I've discovered in Secure Workload are synchronized to my secure firewalls via the Firewall Management Center, FMC. We're able to inspect the policies that have been deployed to the FMC. And as you can see, they have been generated automatically by Secure Workload. I didn't have to write any of those by hand. These policies are rendered as pre-filter rules, so they're very dynamic, and they can be updated quickly as the applications change. The outcome that you can see right here is that the traffic that shouldn't be allowed starts to get blocked. This block is actually happening on the network side and on the firewall rather than a workload enforcing that block. So we have that unified policy enforcement that's synchronized between the workload and network levels. As you can see, the lateral movement is now enforced and disallowed by the policy, both between the production workload to the non-production workload. And the same should be true for the developer trying to access the production workload. Then, obviously, what we need to be able to deal with is not just pushing the policy once, but dynamic changes to applications. So what we have just done in the background is scaled out the application to have twice as many application servers. And what we should expect to see is that the rules that are being enforced on Secure Firewall are synchronized and updated based on that change in the application environment. So we can see that, yes, a deployment is going to happen automatically, pushed by Secure Workload. This is updating the rules that we see inside the Firewall Management Center. And by looking at these rules, we can see that the mapping of the IP addresses of the new dynamic workloads has automatically been updated without any interaction from the NetOps team. That truly brings the NetOps team to DevOps speed, where network controls are reacting dynamically to application environment changes. For those of you that know Cisco firewalls, but not our secure workload capability, understand that it's available both as an on-prem and SaaS service. The SaaS service is a great way to realize value rapidly. Secure Workload works across your on-prem and public cloud environments. It also operates on mainframes, bare metal, VMs, containers. We've just announced support for the AWS Managed Kubernetes service, AWS EKS. It supports the most traditional application environments like what you see with the IBM System Z, and on the container side, not just EKS, but other Kubernetes environments. Now, speaking of Kubernetes and a whole lot more, let's turn our attention to another new innovation. Here at RSA Virtual this year, we're also introducing the newest addition to the Cisco Secure Firewall family, Secure Firewall CloudNative. Our CloudNative capability complements our virtual firewalls. We built Secure Firewall CloudNative because network security expectations are changing. Customers with Kubernetes environments need an agile and on-demand security stack for their dynamic environments. Customers told us the security stack needs to grow where it's needed with uniform protection, operate everywhere, in cloud, on-prem, virtual machine, container. Enable unified perimeter and workload security policy, definition, and enforcement. With Secure Firewall CloudNative, you can surgically insert security controls next to the application containers in a cloud-native application and microservice architecture. The container form factor matches the workload format and allows easy insertion into cloud-native environments without complex hairpinning, which you see oftentimes with VMs. Agile microservice-based controls can be quickly and automatically instantiated with app workloads as part of a CI/CD pipeline providing highly scalable, elastic, distributed security solutions rather than a big choke point. Our cloud-native firewall is agile, fault-tolerant, resilient, and elastic. At launch time, it's available for Layer 3, Layer 4 security control insertion in AWS. Support for additional environments plus Layer 7 security services will quickly follow. Now, turning our attention to some of the other items I promised to share with you, you're hopefully getting a sense of how secure workload puts visibility on steroids in application environments and works with secure firewall. But on the network side, we've really suffered in other ways, right? Now Cisco is helping to bring back the visibility. Over 90% of all internet traffic is now encrypted, and point solutions that used to do a pretty good job can no longer cut it. That's fundamentally why Cisco is so invested in a platform approach to security. And let's be real, very few organizations are going to decrypt all of their traffic. There's just too many operational and legal barriers to do that. So what do? I'm super excited to share with you today what we've done. It's called TLS Server Identity Discovery. TLS Server Identity Discovery is awesome because it's one of the greatest differentiators that we've ever brought to market with our firewall. It matters because it's not only unique, it solves real problems. Our main competitors have nothing like this innovation. This feature matters because without it, TLS 1.3 connections and your Layer 7 application control and URL filtering policies will break. The competition's answer to this is, oh, decrypt everything. But like we just talked about, that's not a tenable position. In the real world, most customers don't decrypt their traffic, and they don't want to start now. Managing an enterprise decryption program is an administrative burden. Getting an internal permission to decrypt can be onerous. Many of our customers just don't have the resources, the time to decrypt all their traffic. So let's take a look at a demo of TLS Server Identity Discovery in action. Here you see Firewall Management Center, Firepower Management Center, FMC. And what you're going to notice is, first of all, the SecureX ribbon at the bottom. So you can instantly pivot from an investigation while you're in FMC into SecureX directly. And now we're going to look at how easy it is. This is the world's simplest demo because it's just a checkbox for turning on your TLS 1.3 server identity discovery capability. It's that simple, and it helps you in a very unique way in the industry that we're really excited about. We hope that you like it. Now, where you can decrypt, hurrah! A huge enhancement in our 7.0 release is that we now have Snort 3 available. It's actually going to be defaulting to Snort 3 for your new installations, and you can still go back to Snort 2 if you want. As far as the capabilities offered by the multi-threading and reduced memory footprint, lots of features are built into Snort 3 that are really helping us to move forward with a much stronger architecture. The new architecture is multi-threaded, and you can run more rules without a performance hit, which is great for security. Plus, the rules themselves are easier to read and write for your site-specific needs. Every secure firewall and secure workload comes with an entitlement to SecureX, the heart of our open platform approach. And Cisco Secure Firewall is integrated into the SecureX platform, unifying threat visibility by adding network endpoint and cloud context for enhanced protections across physical and virtual networks. You can orchestrate pre-built playbooks. You can enhance collaboration between NetOps and SecOps and IT Ops. You can strengthen your breach defense. You can unify visibility with alerts that are prioritized from other integrated Cisco secure solutions as well as third-party solutions. And you can optimize network performance with playbooks for doing things like automating VPN capacity management to facilitate remote workers. We've got a lot of demos about SecureX to check out in other sessions, so enjoy those. We are also introducing Cisco Secure Remote Managed Access. It is a cloud-delivered Cisco managed service that delivers rapid, secure, and reliable remote connectivity so that your remote workers can seamlessly access corporate resources wherever they're residing, in a data center, public or private cloud, for maximum productivity. You can get any user up and running anywhere for rapid time to value and maximum business continuity. The managed service automatically takes care of capacity provisioning, service updates, and high availability for you. The Cisco advantage means that you have access to secure, efficient, and reliable service that's constantly up to date with best practices and updates. This allows your team to work on higher order priorities. As well, we have just released the newest version of security analytics and logging. This has clear benefits both for NetOps teams and SecOps teams that need scalable eventing capability, more scalability than you can get with the firewall alone. The capability is available both as a SaaS solution and on-prem. The on-prem capability is new. And it not only is an event store, it is enabling our analytics from our secure analytics capability to be employed for finding more threats in encrypted traffic. In conclusion, you've seen Cisco Network today. You've seen the power of Cisco firewalling, firewalls that are available across all of your environments, giving you visibility. They work hand in hand if you're looking for part of your environment to be using a very lean IT solution, Cisco Meraki as an example, super easy, full stack of capabilities from Meraki, which complements Cisco Secure Firewall. Our new SASE capability with Cisco Umbrella, the cloud-delivered firewall, especially when you're thinking about branch offices and making sure when you're refreshing at the branch office that you have a SASE capability. We are providing the bridge for a very seamless transition to SASE where you need it. And really core to our vision of network and this redefinition of network security is that it's no longer just about network, but it's also about workload, right? And how these things operate together and how we have unified policy that we can apply both at workload and at network levels with all the power that you saw today. So running out of time, got to run, and I know that you do too. Hope that the rest of your virtual conference is fantastic, and thank you so much for your time.